a little bit busier than usual. We've got death by kettlebell this morning. We're going to be using our steps, but if you haven't got a step at home, don't worry. You can just mimic the movements without the step, and it's almost just as good. You will need a kettlebell, obviously, or 2 or 3 perhaps. The more variety you've got, the better. I'll go through all the details shortly. Let's get warmed up. Okay, by the side. And if you haven't got a step, there's 2 steps in the gym at the top. You want to go and grab a step under the dumbbells. Everyone else, I think I started doing it today with the steps. It's not good. Yeah, you're okay in your rows there. Yeah, as long as everyone's got more worried about the tall people, but you should be fine. Right, okay, so like that. So, all the way through, we're going to be working 30 seconds on a step exercise, which is most of the time a lower intensity exercise, then a brief little rest, 10 seconds, and then onto a higher intensity kettlebell exercise. Okay? And we're going to keep going 8 sets, 4 rounds on each combination of 2. Just working to time, so keep following me really. I'll give you a brief description now of each of the combinations. Because once we're in. Yeah, so you just do 4 rounds, minute rest, next combination. 4 rounds, minute rest, next combination. Incorporating all the muscle groups in as normal. Heart, lungs, push, pull, legs, core, the lot. Okay, so here's your first combination. And that's jog ups and swings. So nice and simple there. Okay. Jog ups on your step. Okay, at home if you've got no step, high knees. And then kettlebell swings. Okay, let's do the one. Through the thigh triangle. Use the hips to drive it up, okay? Second combination when we get there, side steps. So side off the step, yeah? Left side, back, right side, back. Make sure you step in with plenty of room. You don't want to clip your heel off the side of the steps. I've seen that happen. The one you're going to combine with that one is squat thrust and deadlift. So kettlebell heel level. There we go. Out, in, up. Okay? Squat thrust out, in, up. Back to side steps, 8 sets. Right, next combination, toe taps. Again, with the side steps, if you haven't got a step at home, just mimic the movement. Yeah, left side, in, right side, in. Okay, exactly the same. Toe taps. Half a foot on the step, half a foot off the step. Switch. Okay, like that. Again, at home, mimic the movement. Without the step, should be like a split jab. Okay, with that one, we're going to be doing push press. The shoulders, create a chain motor, a weight that you need to use your legs a little bit. Just getting that little bit of a push. So right from the floor, through the hip, into the elbow, and then driving up. Okay, 30 seconds, switch, swap sides each round. Again, you'll be following me anyway. Next combination, we're focusing a bit on core. So this is the only one that needs a bit more explanation. You've got for your step exercise, elevated plank, so feet on the step, anywhere you like, and then hold. Okay, at home, just do a regular plank or put your feet up on your sofa or anything else you might have. And the one that goes with that, you've got choice here, slingshots or figure of eights. Okay, figure of eights are a little bit more complicated. Come on in there. So slingshot is what you're going to start with. That's just bringing it from the side up to this hand, which should be by the shoulder. Now the figure of eight, I know some of you know it, some of you do it a lot of times. You're going up, and then instead of coming back to there, you're going to go through the middle, and that hand comes back to receive it there. Look. Through the middle, through the legs. Okay, so the same hand that you acts like a bit of a sort of crash barrier, if you like. As it then releases, passes. Okay, yeah. It has been known, people sort of drop them. So just be careful on that. Okay, so if you do just a slingshot, that's fine. Just do that, one side, just keep on the one side, and again with that one you swap sides each round. Okay. Last two combinations, we've then got bunny hop, we're doing a lot of push here. Bunny hops, over the step this time. And then floor press. We go onto the floor, both hands to get in position. Okay. make sure you're an arrowhead. Your forearms straight up. Don't start there, everywhere. There. Push. Okay, like a chest press. And swap sides each round. Okay, that side. Elbows to the floor each time. Okay, last combination. This is definitely not a low intensity step exercise. We're doing step burpees. So think about this, you've got 3 contact points, chest, arm, feet, ideally. So it's there, chest, arm, feet. Okay, or something like that. Okay, if you don't want to do the land on, that's fine, just do a jump. Okay, so the chest, arm, feet. Those 3 points hit the step. Keep it going, then you've got a row with that one. Okay, yeah, it's busy today. Always isn't a bank holiday. Once you get it out of the way, then you've got a single arm row, which is matched up with that one for lats. Yeah, engage the lats, pull the shoulder back, pull it to the waist, swap sides each round. Right, that's it. That's a brief overview. We have a minute's rest between each, for me just to reiterate a few of those. Let's do it again. So your first combination then, jog ups and swings. One swing, one in. 30 seconds rest left. Okay? You want it as safely heavy as you can get it. You should have to need that bit of drive from your legs. Okay? We don't want strict press. We want it heavy enough that you need that little bit of leg push. Okay? Right. Okay. Toe tap. step, nice straight line. And you do it either one side at a time, slingshot. Try to keep the knees pressed open. Try not to be doing them like this. Yeah, keep that. Rotation up and around the spine. Or you can do through in the middle. Oh. Level 2, stay relaxed. Okay? Nice long pulse from bottom there. Okay, relax. Okay? Good. Right, true power control. Right, get ready. One.
Nothing feels like this.
This time we're working on lats for your kettlebell. So your kettlebell, your second one is going to be row, single on row. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Try and create a nice straight line from head to heel. Kettlebell at the thumb end of the handle. Pull to the waist, keeping your shoulder and elbow back. Okay, swap sides each round. Your first one though is anything but low intensity. It's pretty light. Now whether you put your hands on the floor, the step itself doesn't really matter. Okay, but you're going down, chest, bum, feet. If you're at home, just do normal burpees. And if you don't fancy jumping up on the step, that's fine. Just do a little bunny hop, that's fine. Okay? Right. You ready?
Can I use your green? Can I use your green? Are you doing?
The last combo there. Bunny hops. Sorry, not bunny hops. Step burpees and rows, okay? Right. Last one. we have got one final challenge for you.
No way.
Anyway, have a little rest first. It's a 4-minute EMOM, every minute on the minute. I think what we'll do, put your steps away first, have a rest. So, obviously here. Steps on the lowest level, please. No, it's not. Just today, I'm going to watch the video and take it on. Right, so it's called breaking point. Okay, so quick-ish, 4 minutes, EMOM this time, every minute on the minute. And you're going to do 5 reps of body attacks with your kettlebell. That's quite tough. So it's a squat thrust, and then you essentially get it above your head as fast as you can. Whether that's through a clean and press or a snatch, if you're more familiar with a snatch, they are harder to get. So you need to go every rep, kettlebell between the heels, hands in front, out, in, and then you've got a choice with dead snatch. Look carefully what happened there. It's there. The turnover, and you follow it up. It isn't this crash at the top. That's not. The turnover doesn't happen there. It happens there. So you're catching it. Okay? Or you've got clean and press, which more people are familiar with. So row and roll, catch it in your rack, and then press it up. Back, hands in front. Once you've done 5, you're then going to hold it above your head on one leg till the bell goes. Okay?
Oh, no, he's joking.
The last one, there, and raise. I'm really tired, it's going to be hard. But if you find that really tough, 2 legs. 2 legs is fine, honestly. The 1 leg is just. And if you have to come down a few times, that's so what? That's what it's there for. It's a challenge. Then minute 2, 5 on the left. Hold, sorry, on the left. Try and make a nice straight line from heel. Slightly more stable. Isolateral, ipsilateral. Isolateral, I think it is. Same side. That would be an ipsilateral hold. That's an isolateral hold, I think. So we want that one. Creating that post. It's very good to do massive handstands and stuff like that. Okay, that's it. So 5 of those, you're going to be really tired out of breath. You're then going to hold it, possibly on one leg. I'll be honest, we should do this with a handstand, but with the numbers we usually get for this, I thought, you know what, we'll do that, because we don't do any other challenges, that sort of balance. So why not integrate it into this one? Okay, so.
Yeah. What a great idea.
So breaking point there. Right. So on the bell, 5 reps and then hold, okay? Right, let's see if we can do it. Okay, ready? school, do baby ballet now, so one extreme to the other. I might join in. Right, anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for another one of these, although different obviously, and total mobility as well. Well done everyone, thanks for tuning in. Paul's well done. Thanks everybody, don't forget new viewers, like and subscribe. Get yourself a Kettlebell or two. You can join in 9 AM, 9:30 AM. UK time every weekday, 9 AM on a Saturday. Followed usually by Total Fitness straight after. See you tomorrow.